To log onto a live class session, you simply go to the Communicate tab here within Angel. You may see that all the different WIMBA products, multimedia products, but we're only going to be using the live classes. You'll see here a main room. That's where we do meet. Now notice over here, this is set up so that it's available to all students. You can actually access this if you don't the sound and the vocal and participate that way in the event you don't have a microphone. And you can simply click on this little button here. It tells you where you can dial into this number, and there'll be a code. It's not listed here now, but when you log in there'll be a code that you can use. Best would be to just click on the launch button after having your microphone and webcam connected, and what will happen is you will be walked through, when you do this for the first time, a wizard. And this wizard will basically make sure that you're correctly set up so that you can see the slides, you can talk and be heard, and just interact accordingly. And you may, in my case, I'm asked if I want to give permission to access to this website. Anyway, once you're logged on here, you will see your name appear in a list from everybody else that's logged in, and there'll be a welcome slide here at the top of the window. Now notice there is a talk button here that when you press down on this one, you'll hear a click, and then you'll be able to talk and everyone will hear you. Notice on the right side of my name that there's a little orange box with a plus on there indicating that I am talking at this time. If I unclick that, and then it goes off. One way you can do this without having to come over here and click on this is hold down the control button, and then when you're finished, release the control button. Let's see if I need to open this up a little bit more here, where you can actually see that this is where you can log on with a telephone. In the event you don't have speakers or a microphone working, you can click on this and come on, and that gives you that phone number again, and this time it gives you a PIN so you can log on, and that way you can participate audiovisually via the telephone. Now there are some options here that I use. You could turn this talk clicking off, and that just means that every time you evoke the talk button you won't hear a clicking sound. Okay? Over here on the left side indicates the strength at which your signal is, and down here you have what is a chat area. Now notice it is set up for the main room. That, in other words, anything that you type here in this little box, and I know it's little, that and then when you hit the return key, it sends it. And that'll say what you're talking about. Now, if you want to talk to someone specifically within the session here, let's see if I can move this up here a little bit so you can, well, I guess you can't see that, can you? There we go. If I wanted to talk directly just to whoever's listed here, I could select their name, and now when I type this, I and Edward will be the only ones that will be able to see that. We can, talk on the side. This allows you to talk in class and not get caught, although I can see this. So most of the time you want to have it on the main room. Now here at the bottom you have some ways to interact. If I ask you for a yes, no question, okay, you click on the check mark for yes, you click on the X mark for no, and that way I can pull very quickly and see where everybody is. It also helps me to know that you're still following along, you're still logged in, you're still getting the audio. Okay. Now if you have a question, all you need to do here is raise your hand, and a number will appear here in this column in the order that you've raised your hand. If I've got a number of people logging in, and everybody starts to talk at the same time, it really does cause some problems with the bandwidth. And so it's best that if you have a question or a comment, raise your hand. I'll call upon you. and you can click on this logo again. It goes off, and then you can type in what is best is to type your question and then wait. See? And then I'll hit the return key. Then raise your hand. I go, okay, Edward. And then all I have to do is come over here and hit the return key, and then it puts that up there. We don't have to wait for your questions. Try not to get too far ahead. If I haven't answered all these questions and you keep asking more questions here, as you know, as happens in this little box, it gets scrolls out of the way and I will miss it. There's also another way that you can give me some feedback here. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Then you can say, or slower. If I'm going too slow, you could say speed it up. If you approve or disapprove of something. And if you ever go away, say, okay, flew the coop here. So now notice it says I'm away. So this way I can keep track of what's going on here. And then of course when you're finished, you just click on exit and then you're gone. I record the complete proceedings so that you can view this later as an archived session in the event that you can't attend.